everybody. I hope everybody's having a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments what you are up to this week. I know that we are heading into our last few weeks of school, but I know a lot of you have actually already wrapped up school for the school year, or maybe you're homeschooling and you're finally done. I would love to hear in the comments what you're up to this week. Are you preparing for summer? Are you guys, doing things for the summer? I know that this is kind of the first year in a couple of years that everything has been open for the most part. So I would love to hear what your plans are as we head into the next couple of weeks. But I also wanted to talk about something that I've been getting a lot of messages about, a lot of DMs about, and a lot of emails about, and that is, why do I have painful periods? I am sick of taking ibuprofen. I'm sick of having to lay on the couch with a heating pad. I am tired of having to plan my life around my cycle, knowing that I'm not going to be as productive at work. I'm not going to be able to, go on that vacation that I had planned, or going so far as, planning your vacations around your cycle so that it doesn't happen. If that's you, then I just want to break down for you why you're having painful periods and what you can do about it. So, painful periods can typically be boiled down to two primary sources. The first source is, of course, inflammation in the body. So, when our gut has a high level of inflammation and our liver is basically in toxic overload, meaning that it's not able to flush out toxins appropriately, what happens is very high levels of inflammation begin to happen in the body. And because of its proximity, because of the bowel's proximity to the uterus ends up basically carrying the weight of that inflammation, and that can lead to painful, heavy periods for some women. The second cause of painful periods is actually what is called prostaglandins. So prostaglandins are a normal, healthy mechanism in the body as a response to pain or injury. They're also a response to inflammation. However, when those get out of hand, such as in the instance of toxic overload and the inability of the gut to release those inflammatory molecules, then what happens is those prostaglandins actually go way up, and they can lead to not only heavier periods but worsening periods, and in both the length of time and the amount of pain that you have during your cycle. So while one dose of Motrin here and there is not going to be cause for alarm, if you're using it every day of your cycle, every month of your cycle, then you have to be aware that that is also impacting your liver's ability to process hormones appropriately, which impairs your liver's ability to process hormones appropriately. So do you see how it's like this snowball effect where you're having inflammation, you're having pain, you take ibuprofen, and it basically overwhelms the liver over a long period of time, which then makes your hormones worse, which then leads to more inflammation, which leads to more ibuprofen. So we have to break up with that cycle. And I was actually just talking to one of our Happy Hormones clients a couple weeks ago about how when she first came to us, she was using, a lot of ibuprofen pretty much around the clock during her cycle. And when that happened, she was like, I would just love to be able to get off of this. I would love for my periods to be normal enough that I didn't need this all the time. And 8 weeks into the process, she was like, I had a period with zero pain, like no pain, no heaviness, normal 5-day flow, totally manageable. I was still able to be out in the garden with my kids. I was still able to do all of our normal activities. And that is because we worked on the foundations of healing those processes. So addressing the gut-brain connection by reducing inflammation in the gut, and then addressing the liver overload that leads to that heavy cramping and painful periods. So if you are somebody who has painful periods, you've always had painful periods, they've always been kind of heavy, then I want to invite you to our 3-day workshop that's coming up next week. It's just $9.97, and in that 3-day workshop, I'm going to be sharing with you exactly in more depth what your symptoms mean so that you can quit the guesswork with your doctor and actually know what your body needs. And then I'm going to be sharing our exact, step-by-step process that we use to get rid of those painful periods so that you are no longer experiencing them and you're no longer being controlled by your hormones. So I would love to see you there. When you click on the link, there will be some options for bonuses as well. So if you're wanting to upgrade to any bonuses beyond what's already available to you in your ticket pricing, you're welcome to do that. And then just make sure to shoot me a message so that I can add you to the private Facebook group where this training is going to be held. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps you with your periods, and we will be in touch.